Welcome to In the Know, a new feature for TopSports.News. In the Know will provide information and resources on various topics to use inside and outside of sports. I am Sherry Landry, and I will be hosting our conversations and hope you will check back regularly to stay in the know. Today, I am visiting with Pam Evans, Family Services Guidance Director of Marketing and Development. Before we get into the interview, we need to give folks a heads up that we're going to be talking about a sensitive but incredibly important topic of youth suicide today. While we acknowledge how difficult of a topic this is, we feel it's really important for us to talk about mental health and suicide, especially when it comes to our kids. Mental health has been in the news a lot over the past several years, including the challenges our kids and teens are facing these days. Can you remind folks what kinds of services Family Service and Guidance Center provides to Northeast Kansas children and families?
Sure. Thanks for having me. So, Family Service and Guidance Center has actually been around since 1904, believe it or not. And we have the privilege of focusing on treating kids from the ages of about 2 up to the age of 18 who are struggling with mental health challenges. Challenges could be anything from anxiety, depression, ADHD, substance use. We really treat the gamut. First and foremost, crisis services are one of our most important services that we provide to the community 24/7, 365. Parents, caregivers can access those services if their child is threatening to harm themselves or others by calling our main number, which happens to be 785-232-5005, anytime, day or night.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we provide a wide variety of other programs and services. I could talk for days, but we don't have days. But outpatient therapy, individual, group, family therapy, anxiety treatment program. Perhaps maybe in a future segment we can talk a little bit more in detail about that. And I just would finally mention that we do a lot of work, provide therapy, some group programs, and case management services right there in the schools at a wide number. I believe it's now up to 22 different schools in Shawnee County.
That's amazing. That is such good work. Thank you for that. What are some of the warning signs of suicide that a child or teen may have?
It's important to note that about 4 out of 5 people who are suicidal do have some sort of signal, some sort of things that people might notice. However, some people don't show any signs. So that's where it makes it really difficult. We have to take everyone seriously. So here's some common things to watch for. Parents should just kind of watch for this and take note. If a child or teen is talking about suicide or maybe even death in general, talking about going away, referring to things that they won't be needing, or if they start giving away their prized possessions, dramatic mood swings, and it might be going from, very depressed to seemingly absolutely fine. So even, that if you see a big mood swing, if a child's really been depressed and then all of a sudden is great, that, believe it or not, might be something you want to open up a conversation about. Some other things, talking about feeling hopeless or guilty, even pulling away from friends, not doing their favorite things that they like to do or have had, a lot of fun doing. Changes in sleeping habits, eating habits. If you see or learn of drug use, alcohol use, increases in that, self-harm can sometimes be a sign. Unusual neglect in appearance or feeling sad or depressed for extended periods of time. And the last one I'd mention, unexplained or unusually severe, violent, or rebellious behavior. So as you can see, it's a lot of different things. So that's why it's just so important for us to kind of clue in on our kids and kind of how they're acting, whenever we're in their presence.
That's a really good information. I know from personal experience, my daughter has fostered and adopted some children, and one of them really had some issues, and and she's worked through those. I think he's doing really well now. But so,
Good.
I all those things that you said rang true. So people need to really, really pay attention to what their children are doing and what's happening. So, when
Yeah.
should a parent call Family Service and Guidance?
We always approach things. It's, better safe than sorry. If, sometimes it's hard, when as kids are growing up and kind of testing the waters and testing the boundaries, if they say, oh, I'm just going to kill myself, or, and those are jarring statements that, for a parent, super hard to hear. We always say better safe than sorry. If you're wondering, call us.
That is
Um,
excellent advice.
please, you never know. And that's the thing. So, it's FSGC serves as the safety net for Shawnee County for kids' mental health. So that's why, we have specially trained crisis clinicians that deal with really tough situations, to help kids and help families day or night, no matter when it is. I will also say, though, if families get into a seriously life-threatening emergency, 911 is always the go-to. And,
Sure.
I can't point to specific things, but, if weapons are involved, or,
Sure.
911, yeah, but know that we're here to support kids and families. So, yeah,
I know
yeah,
that is probably a hard call for some parents because they don't, wait, should I call? Should I not call? And, it is a hard call. And to be in the moment, you're panicking, you're not sure what to do. You should always just do what your gut tells you, and that is call.
exactly. Yeah, you're right. I was going to say that. Go with your gut. And, know too that we have a really good relationship with the Topeka Police Department. We work with the school resource officers. So, those relationships are strong, and we work very well together.
And those are wonderful people. Those school resource officers are truly the best. I used to be a teacher and in a high school, and so they were
Yeah,
always the person that you needed the most. I mean,
yeah,
in a lot of
yeah,
situations. And I
yeah.
know one of the reasons that TopSports.net wanted to go down this road is because you've heard in the past year, a number of college athletes who everybody thought were just fine and they committed
Mhm.
suicide. So I think it's really important that we pay attention in sports as well. I mean, and all all phases of children's lives, but that's why this is kind of relevant, resonated with TopSports.net, is because we want to get that word out there.
Definitely.
So, well,
Definitely.
we really truly appreciate your time. Thank you to Pam. This wraps up this issue of In the Know. Please check back regularly for our next conversation. So if you have any questions, please give Pam a call, or you can just go online to topsports.net and send a question, and I'm sure it will get routed right to Pam. So thank you so much, Pam.
Sure. Thanks so much for having me.